Madam Clerk, are you ready?
Oh, yeah,
Flip on
yes,
the
we are.
switch.
Well, let's flip the switch. Let's go.
Start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Yeah. Got a little response. Welcome to the Shawnee County Board of County Commissioners. It's April 20th, 2023. On my far left is Cindy Beck, our county clerk. Far right is our county councilor, Jim Crow. On my immediate right is Commissioner Kevin Cook, who represents District 2. And on my immediate left is Aaron Mays, who represents District 3. And I'm Bill Rippon, I represent District 1. Madam Clerk, what's first on the agenda?
First item is on item 3, consent agenda.
I would move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second?
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Mays. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item 4, new business A, County Clerk. Number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Commissioners, this morning we have vouchers that total $3,291,340.84. Some of the highlights out of the voucher report under the bridge project with Kansas Department of Transportation is $195,000 for county match of the Northwest 66th Street Bridge over Indian Creek. Under the district court, we have conversion one, which is $15,577.50, which is the annual Trend Micro subscription to protect from viruses, online attacks. We have under equipment fund and sheriff, Shawnee Mission Ford of $101,176 for 2 Ford SUVs. Under the infrastructure, SBB Engineering LLC for $34,279.60, which is survey, design, and construction documents for Northwest Button Road, Northwest Rochester Road on the 46th Street Improvement Project. And then under the information technology, Optiv Security Incorporated, $169,708 is for checkpoint protection and subscription. And finally, under Parks and Recreation, under the paid with ARPA, SLFRF funds, KBS Constructors for $268,797.61 is for the Lake Shawnee Campground Project. I do not have any questions regarding the vouchers and would move for their approval.
Second. Motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item A2, consider correction orders.
I would move that we approve the correction orders.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor say aye. Opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item A3, consider approval of resolution number 2023-26, authorizing a 2023 serial malt beverage license to Pure Golf Topeka, located at 7523 Southwest 21st Street, Topeka, Kansas. And this has been reviewed by the county councilor, and the township was notified, KBI was notified, and there was nothing untoward on either of those, and we just recommend that you approve it, please.
Any questions?
No, I'll move approval.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Mays, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item B, Bond Council, number 1, public hearing and consider approval of resolution number 2023-27, levying and assessing special assessments on certain lots, parcels, and tracts of ground liable for such special assessments to pay the cost of certain street assessments or street improvements in the Green Hill Point subdivision, Shawnee County, Kansas, Street Benefit District, as authorized by County Resolution 2020-43, and providing for the collection of such special assessments.
Good morning, Bob Perry. Before you consider the resolution, you'll need to open a public hearing so that those that have questions can pose them and we can get them answered. Since there are some folks here that apparently have some questions from Greenpoint subdivision, I thought it'd be easier if I just walk everybody through what the proceedings are, because we haven't done this for about 5 years, what the procedures are that might help so that you all understand what the procedures were and how I got started. And then if you have other questions, then we can take care of those. Is that all right? Is that all right with you, Bill?
It's fine.
Aaron? Kevin, okay. Back in 2020, Mike Drape of Drape Construction filed a petition with the county clerk's office requesting this board create street benefit districts to serve the lots in Green Hill subdivision. This is subdivision up on Green Hill Road, northwest Green Hill Road, north of 46th Street. I think it's like at 45th, 47th Terrace or around in that area. It's on the west side of the road. The developer at the time owned 100% of the property, and the statute in play here is 68-720H, which says if a petition is filed, which is signed by 100% of the owners of the lots affected, then a street benefit district can be created, and the county can then authorize the construction of streets which belong to the county and assess the cost of those streets to the lots and blocks and parcels of ground, which are part of the petition. In this case, Drape Construction requested that 16 lots be assessed on a per unit basis on a proportionate equal per share for the cost of the construction. The streets were installed. We waited a little while as a result of what happened after 2008 financial crisis and some of the benefit districts that were constructed to give the developer a sufficient amount of time to sell the lots, construct some homes, get some residents in there so that all of the assessments wouldn't fall on one person, but would be able to spread amongst the lot owners on a proportionate basis. One, it reduces the risk of the county, and two, it also reduces the risk of the developer, and three, it helps the lot owners because they know that they can buy a lot, and they've been told, I hope they've been told, that there's going to be assessments. The resolution 2020-43 was filed with the Register of Deeds in July of 2020, which technically puts the world on notice that assessments are to be levied when complete. They were completed last year. We've decided to do the assessments now so that we can do the levy in November 1 of 2023. First half payment is due December 20 of 2023. The second half payment is due May 10, 2024. All of the lot owners who are being assessed have the opportunity to prepay the entire assessment without penalty or interest by May the 22nd, 2023. Should that not occur, the assessments will be annually amortized over a 20-year period of time, plus whatever interest is due as a result of the general obligation bonds that will be sold to permanently finance the street assessments. That's kind of a brief history and procedural run-through. We'll need to open the meeting for public hearing, close it, and consider the assessment resolution.
I move that we open the public hearing.
I'll second. Motion's been made by Commissioner May, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. Those opposed? Motion carries 3-0. We are now in public hearing. So, do we have anyone who is opposed to this project who'd like to speak?
Not necessarily opposed, but a
Would-
question regarding
Could you come to the podium and give us your name and
Matt Davis.
uh,
My name is Matt Davis. Good morning.
morning?
There are 18 lots on 49th Terrace that you just described in that Green Hill Point subdivision. He mentioned 16 of the 18 are being required to pay that specials assessment. My question is, why not all 18 lots? It is one road on 49th Terrace. There's a cul-de-sac at the top of the street. The two lots that are being excluded from this currently sit at the very end of that cul-de-sac. They're no different than the lots right adjacent to it. So my question is, they take advantage of the curb cuts that have been installed. They're taking advantage of the paved roads and the amenities of the sidewalks on that drive. Why do they not also have the responsibility to pay those assessments?
And that's lot 9 and 10, it looks like.
Yeah, 9 and 10.
Commissioners, this is Jim Crowell, Shawnee County Councilor, and perhaps bond counsel is going to state it. All 18 lots are listed in the resolution. I think he said 16, he meant 18, but I'll let him mention or take a look at his resolution to address the issue.
In looking at the ones listed here, lots 9 and 10 are not listed.
9 and 10 are not in the resolution levying the assessments, and the reason for that is when the developer requested that the street be assessed, the cost be assessed, he's advised me about 2 months ago, when we were getting ready to do the paperwork, that the lots 9 and 10, which are not part of the assessment proceedings, are not served by the sewer lines, which on a proportionate basis, Mike Drippe told me was about the same. They built their own sanitary sewer system, a septic system. And in consideration for that and then buying those 25 acres each, he didn't put them in the assessment proceedings. And so, and all this board needs to do is look at a petition that's presented, see if it meets the statutory requirements, which it did. If it meets the code requirements, county code requirements, which it did, then they exercise what is the legislative act. They create a subtaxing district and they proceed. Now, if Drippy didn't tell you those 2 lots weren't included, that was made a public record back in 2020 when Resolution 2020-43 was filed of record. And if you have further questions, I think you'd have to ask Mike those, because I can only tell you what he told me.
Commissioner Mays.
So Bob, I guess I'm a little bit confused because this is for a street benefit district and not a sewer district.
Yeah, but my understanding is Drippe paid for the sewers and asked that the streets be assessed. And these 2 lots are 25 and 20 plus acres. And yes, they will use the street, but they're in a position where they can't do anything with their ground other than use it. They can't subdivide it.
The developer is not present today, is that correct?
That's correct. I told him when we were scheduling the hearing, he chose not to appear. And if you looked at the plat back in 2020, 9 and 10 I concluded back in 2020 that was going to be interest back into the back 50 acres with additional lots, which is how Doltmeyer does his and other developers that we've done these would do theirs.
So it was your presumption that lots 9 and 10 were going to be a roadway to further development?
Yeah, that's how they've been done in this county as long as I've been doing these in the mid-'80s. I was wrong, obviously.
Commissioner Mays, if you have questions about the benefit district and the sewer and the offset from sewer to roadway, we always have the opportunity to defer action on this to get further clarification from the developer so that this can be resolved.
So,
Yeah,
go ahead.
But before you do go down that road, there's some legal issues here that I don't have the answer to, but I certainly see questions. Is the developer sold those 2 lots, 9 and 10, with those 2 individuals on a contract that agreed there was not going to be an assessment. I'm assuming this based upon what I was told, but I'm assuming that's true. In which case you have a contract where those 2 people bought ground, 25 acres or so, with the understanding that they'd install their own sewers at their own cost, and in return for getting these acres, they wouldn't have to pay a proportionate share of the street. And if you want to change the assessment amounts for these 16, that's up to you. But you can't go back and assess those 2 lots without starting over. Because to do so today would breach their contract with Drippe, which is an impairment of contract, which you don't want to do.
But the question is, if a fundamental fairness to the other lots within the development, are they subsidizing those 2?
Oh, absolutely, Kevin, absolutely. That's absolutely true. I mean, they have a valid complaint, but it's not with this body, it's with the developer. I know I'm pushing this away, but you didn't, You didn't do the development. You did the street as requested. You may not like the answer, but that's the answer.
Yeah, I would just argue that they're taking.
If, please come back up. If we are recording, and so it's, the clerk needs to keep a good record, and
I agree with the sewer comment that they are on, those two lots are on their own sewer, but they are taking full advantage of the amenities that were provided by the paved roads, the sidewalks. They have the same amenities that the adjacent lots have, other than the sewer. And I have a piece of paper that outlines the kind of lots and what the subdivision looks like, if I can
Can we
bring this
take a
up.
look at that?
So it's a little small, but this is 49 Terrace. These are all the lots surrounding. The two lots that he's describing are right here and then right here. There's one drive, access here to their driveways.
You see it? You're familiar with it? Bob, would these two lots, say down the road, would they have the option to hook on to the sewer lines that are being put in at this time?
They'd have to pay for it.
Okay.
And if I have not looked at the sewer map that the city has on their website for this subdivision,
Familiar.
but it's my understanding that the lateral that hooks into the main goes under Green Hill Roads or runs along the side of it. And I don't know how they would tie into would it be either the northwest portion of the circle on the cul-de-sac or the last lot that's there on the southwest side, because I don't know where the main is. But it seems to me either way, they're going to potentially have to get into wherever that lateral is. But they're on septics. And I don't know how they can't subdivide that ground, in my opinion, because unless you change the planning and zoning or issue some sort of special use permit. But he's right. There's 16 lots that are paying for a road, which is being used by 18 lots. But the intent, or I rephrase this, the petition requested 16 be assessed, and that's been the same since 2020, July of 2020.
And the contract he had with those two individuals, does it specify sewer and streets, or is it just all one?
What I was told by Dirpe is he agreed that he would sell them each those large segments of ground, not include them within the street assessment proceedings, and they would agree not to be served by the public sewer system. So those two lot owners paid for a septic tank, and that cost apparently, in return for which they got the use of the street. Which would indicate to me those deals were cut before the petition was requested. But I don't know if that's accurate or not, Bill.
Messy.
You can defer it.
Mr. Perry, I understand that, we are dealing with other contracts, other agreements outside of this development district, and the commission may not have the ability to grant the direct relief that the homeowners are asking, but I would feel more comfortable if the developer was here to be able to address the commission as to what was the intent in 2020, what actually transpired. Now we're in 2023, as to why there are 16 lots paying for streets used by 18 lots, and what is the offset, and so that these questions can be answered before we move forward. I think it's best to have the developer here to answer. So I would prefer to defer it.
I would agree. And I also would feel a lot more comfortable making decisions if we had documents from what was done in 2020 as well. It's not part of our packet. So I mean, if we could get that stuff pulled as well, I think that'd be helpful.
It's Shawnee County Councilor Jim Crowell. Will there need to be new publication of the public hearing to factor in
It depends
rescheduling?
upon what the commissioners desire to do with the excluded 2 lots. We can do, we can do a new notice, start the proceedings over. The next assessment resolution it's a Doltmeyer from the southwest, and we've done those in the past without any issues. And if you decide that you want to include these 2 for one reason or another, we'll have to, we can just start the proceedings all over.
I have a question. Could I ask?
Yes.
Can they not close the public hearing?
That's-
Possibly, and then possibly just
We can
recess?
recess. We can
and then-
recess until.
Then,
Sure.
so that we
Until
could,
next
so
week.
then we wouldn't have to actually republish the public hearing notice if they, could we do that? And
Sure,
that-
whatever you all want to do. I mean,
week
we have
long enough.
several options.
Well, you
We're
have
not-
2 weeks because you won't be here
Oh,
next
that's
week.
right, we're not here next Thursday.
Could we do it during our work session if we are still recessed in an open meeting? No?
I'd prefer you not.
Okay.
But I just thought maybe,
mean,
because we
no,
done
but I-
other
So it would
things.
have to be 2 weeks.
So that would be then May the 4th.
But it would save us more.
Would you want me
because-
to call Drip A, or would you want Jim to do it?
I don't know that, I don't,
I mean, we can figure that out after the meeting.
Okay.
Let you guys talk about it.
so
For
we are
2.
going to recess then to May the 4th?
Leave the public hearing open until in recess, yeah.
Okay.
And reconsider the
Do we need to
resolution?
Make a motion on that then, Jim? Okay.
You did.
Okay, I thought,
You did.
All right. All right, that was your motion?
Yeah, I would make a motion to recess until May 4th,
Okay,
this issue.
okay.
I'll let that be my motion. We'll recess till May 4th. Have a second?
Second.
Motion's been made, Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Mays. All in favor? Those opposed? Motion carries 3-0. So we'll take this up in May.
Okay.
Thank you, Bob. Next item?
Item B2, public hearing and consider approval of Resolution 2023-28, levying and assessing special assessments on certain lots, parcels, and tracts of ground liable for such special assessments to pay the cost of certain street improvements in the Timber Ridge subdivision, Shawnee County, Kansas, Street Benefit District Phase 5, as authorized by County Resolution 2020-89, and providing for the collection of such special assessments.
In December of 2020, Resolution 2020-89 created Street Benefit District for Timber Ridge subdivision. This was Phase 5 of the street improvements in that subdivision. The streets were completed. There was 15 lots initially, and I think according to the last time I looked at the list, and when Cindy's office and I coordinated the notices, the Doltmeyer Homes still owns 6 lots. So 9 of the 15 are owned by individuals. Each of the lot is being assessed on a proportionate basis. Doltmeyer and his partner paid for the sewer improvements.
Yes.
I'll move that we open a public hearing.
Second. Motion's been made by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We are now in public hearing. Do we have anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this project? Those in favor of this project? Commissioners, do you have any questions? Not, I would move that we approve and close the hearing.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Bob.
You're welcome. You want me to call Jim when I'm finished, because I've got another meeting to go to?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, guys.
All right, next item.
Item C, Emergency Management, number 1, consider approval of request to issue a request for proposals for remodeling project for the Emergency Operations Center restroom facilities to utilize ARPA SLFRF funding.
Good morning, Commissioners. Justin Nichols, Emergency Management. This is the next step in our bathroom remodels that we've started a couple of years ago. We've been working with finance, of course. So if you have any questions, we're here. Just looking for approval to go out for that request.
Any questions? If not, I would move for approval.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Thanks, sir.
Next item,
Item D, Stormont Valley Event Center. Number 1, consider approval to issue a bid for new emergency communication radios and an analog repeater system to be paid by using allocated capital outlay funding.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kellen Seitz, OVG 360 in the Stormont Vale Event Center. The request before you today is an issuance or request to issue a bid for a new emergency management, or excuse me, emergency radio communication system for the event center. This was a project that was approved in our fiscal year 2023 capital outlay funding. The bid we've been working on, or is through a group called TBS Communications. It's my understanding that that group is under a government contract, and we've been working with Nelson from Emergency Management, who utilizes the same company and the same system for emergency management purposes. So happy to answer any questions you might have.
questions?
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. We are going to pull the next item, D2. We'll defer that till a couple weeks, I suppose. Is that okay? All right, next item.
Item E, Parks and Recreation. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-134-2023, the 2023 Softball Championship Tournament Agreement with Mid-America Intercollegiate Athletes Association, setting conditions and responsibilities for the event to be held for the first time from May 3rd through the 7th, 2023, at the Invista Softball Complex. An event rental fee of $2,500 and expenses for umpire, table crew, and stat support fees are payable to Shawnee County Parks and Rec for deposit into the department's capital maintenance, 3R, and operating funds.
Good morning, Commissioners. Josh Mikey, Parks and Recreation. This is an agreement with MIAA to bring their postseason, their softball tournament to Invista. This is part of our new, since we've upgraded the turf, that it's part of growing that complex. It'll be their 18 postseason tournament, May 3rd through the 7th. As the clerk said, it'll be $2,500 fee for rental. It's a great event. It's great publicity for our new turf things. That is part of growing that. It'll get our facilities out in front of a lot more people. The games will be broadcast. It'll be a great event.
You know how many teams this will bring?
Be 8 teams. The
8.
top 8 teams in the conference will qualify for the tournament. It'll be the their postseason tournament, a 8-team double elimination tournament over 4 days.
4 days. Okay. All right.
They just use one field?
They do just use one field, the main field there.
That's awesome.
Very good. All right.
I'll move for approval.
I'll second. Motion's been made by Commissioner Mays, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Thank you very much. Next item.
Item E2, consider approval to reclassify a current maintenance tech position to a maintenance lead worker position within the sports maintenance division.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tim Laurent, Shawnee County Parks and Recreation Department. We were approached by our union rep about this position and felt like there was, the person currently in this job was performing his duties at a higher level, at the lead worker level. And so we did work with HR and audit finance. We reviewed the position, what he's been doing, what his responsibilities are, and we felt that this was, that they were correct, that he was operating at a higher level. So we would like to reclassify this position to a lead worker, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Any questions? Yes.
Is the old position going to be eliminated?
It is, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just move him up and the old one
Yeah.
goes away.
All right. No other questions. I'll move for approval.
I'll second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item E3, consider authorization and execution of contract C-135-2023 with Cunningham Recreation for youth panels replacing equipment in Gage Park. Funding in the amount of $7,555.66 is available from the Building Maintenance 3R Fund.
Good morning again, Commissioners. Tim Lorette, Parks and Recreation Department. So, yeah, this is some new equipment that's replacing some equipment that we removed at Gage Park. It is right there adjacent to the train depot, that large play structure. There used to be that snake in there that we had to remove. We've patched that area. There's safety surfacing, but it's wearing, and so we want to replace that, put these new panels in. It's for kids ages 2 to 5, which is kind of a nice addition. That the rest of the play structure is really geared towards older kids, so be happy to answer any questions.
That piece that wore out, that's no longer available, or the
Yeah.
company's no longer?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
And there were some safety issues as well, so.
All right. No other questions. I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Next item.
Item F, Department of Corrections, number 1, consider approval to submit grant applications to the Kansas Department of Corrections for fiscal year 2024 funding related to adult and juvenile community corrections, and fiscal year 2024 to 2025 relating to community juvenile services.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tim Phelps, Department of Corrections. This is our annual grant applications for our funding within the community corrections operation, both adult and juvenile. And the second two items that are on the memo are for fiscal 24 and 25 applications to provide funding for various community services for juveniles. I'd be happy to answer any of the questions.
Questions?
I have none.
You went.
I have none.
Oh, sorry.
I'll move approval.
I'll second. Motion's been made by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0.
Thank you,
Tim.
Commissioner.
Next item.
Item G, Commission number 1, consider approval of the appointment of Robert Hughes to fill the remainder of the term for the vacant Silver Lake Township Clerk.
Okay, I wanted to point out this would be filling out the rest of the term, a vacated term. This isn't putting somebody in there for a complete term as you'd normally have, but it's filling in the remainder of the time. So I would move for approval.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item, public.
Item 5, public comment.
I don't have anyone signed up for public comment, but if there's anyone here who'd like to speak, now's your chance. All right, seeing none. Next item.
Item 6, administrative communications.
Good morning again, Dusty Nichols, Emergency Management. As you probably noticed, we had a little storm last night, actually a few of them. So this is a good opportunity to check your gutters. There's a lot of construction stuff out there that might have blown over, trees down, branches, reports of a house had a tree land on it. I know there was another one at just off 6th Street, had blocked the road. So anyway, take a chance, go out and look at your gutters. Look, if you live near Shunga, just walk the Shunga if you see anything blocking that might cause an issue going forward. Sometimes we have beaver dams about this time getting built, or just debris have found its way into the Shunga, for example. And the next time we get a rain, we're going to have a flood. So let's take a look, and if you see anything like that, please report it to the county, whether it's us or Parks and Rec or whoever the responsible department would be to help clean that up. Let us know. And just make sure your weather radios are working. We had 7 different storms last night that called for warnings, thunderstorm warnings, and those went over the weather radios. So remember, those storms can carry 70-mile-an-hour winds, which we had yesterday, so you might not find your garbage can this morning. So just take a minute and walk around and check everything out and be ready for the next one. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kellen Seitz again, Stormont Vale Event Center and OVG 360. Just want to remind everyone we have a busy weekend coming up this weekend. This is the second nationally televised event that will be broadcast out of our facility this year with the American Cornhole League Pro Shootout. The broadcast for that is tomorrow evening on ESPN2. It is free and open to the public to come and attend. If you'd rather sit at home and watch it on your couch, it's on ESPN2 around 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. So very excited to have that piece of business in the building and highlighting our facility on the national sporting stage. In addition to that, we have Topeka Tropics game back in the building on Saturday evening at 7 o'clock. So hopefully they can get close to wrapping out the season with a couple wins here to finish it out. So happy to answer your questions you might have.
The cornhole's on the exhibition hall side?
Cornhole is an exhibition hall, yeah. So it is. It's going to look quite a bit different on TV than it looks if you go and take a look at it in real life. But they're building an entire staging seating platform around the national televised production section of the space. And then there's a number of additional boards taking place all the way through exhibition hall. We're anticipating over 700 participants, both professionals and amateurs alike, participating in the event. So it's a great piece of business pickup for the community and transient hotel and economic impact to Shawnee County as well.
So you have 700 participants. How many lanes, or for lack of a better term, do you have?
Yeah, I should have got the answer to that before I stepped up to the podium. I don't have the answer to that off the top of my head, but I can certainly get it and send it to you.
That's fine.
It's 4 days, or excuse me, 3 days, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. So I imagine it's quite a few, and for a pretty extended period of time each day.
Are they all general admission for that?
Everything is free. Yeah, so
Okay.
you just walk into the building, you go through the security checkpoints, and go right in and enjoy yourself watching professional cornhole.
All right.
Kellen, do they bring all the equipment in and everything?
They sure do, yeah.
So we don't
American
have to
Cornhole League
purchase
brings
anything, or-
all the boards, all the bags, all the setup. Our team does the production setup alongside ESPN to make sure the national camera shots are what they want to see, and it's pretty exciting.
And it's going on all day?
It goes on tomorrow afternoon, and then all day Saturday and all day Sunday. Yeah,
Okay.
tomorrow afternoon and evening for the professional.
So that entertainment's going to be worth the price of admission?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, free admission. Yeah. It's pretty exciting.
So what do they televise? The finals? Is that what?
So they're on a circuit. It's kind of like think of the PGA, right? They're playing all year long for competing for their end of year circuit championships. So this is one of their professional shootouts. I think it's professional shootout number 3, to be exact. What that means in the grand scheme of things at the end, I'm not really well versed in cornhole outside of what we do at the Chiefs games in the parking lot. But yeah, I mean, I think it's their competition towards their end of the year capstone of their season. There is an amateur shootout or an open shootout component as well, which is where the amateur piece comes into play. And that allows, to my understanding, folks an opportunity to, try and make it into the professional ranks of American Cornhole.
It's amazing that a game that basically was a tailgate party game
Yeah,
has
it's
reached professional status.
I do know the Topeka Cornhole Society. I'm not sure if that's their exact title, but they are hosting an event this evening inside Sunflower Ballroom, in addition to the festivities that are taking place this weekend. And it has garnered some attention from the American Cornhole League folks, and I think there's going to be some representatives there tonight. They're doing a blind draw and some competition in Sunflower Ballroom, which is at Manor Conference Center. So a lot of folks really getting engaged with it this week, and excited to see it come to town.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you a cornhole?
I'm not very good, no. It's fun. I like
There we
playing
go.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not very good either, so.
Thank you, Kellen.
It's safer than horseshoes,
It is.
especially if you're on the other end of the horseshoe.
Good morning, Commissioners. Larry Moss, Shawnee County Treasurer. I wanted to give you and the public an update on the status of the Treasurer's Office and the Motor Vehicle Office. We had hoped to get back into our area next Monday, but while they've made great progress, we think that we'd be better off operationally to stay out another week. So May 1st is our, I'll call it our grand opening again. Let me just say I appreciate the public's patience. It's been a tremendous 2 weeks, and they've been very patient. I would remind them that this would be a good time to use online and mail to pay your taxes or renew your vehicles. If they do have to come out to the Motor Vehicle Annex on 17th Street, a reminder that we do have an appointment system that they can use, or the Awesome Queue. That way they will minimize their wait. And also a reminder that the Treasurer's operation is located in the Register of Deeds office in room 108. Glad to answer any questions you might have.
But you're hoping that May 1st will be better?
I think we'll be in good shape on May 1st. Okay. That way the opening will be a little more organized and we won't be still cleaning up debris and that sort of thing. So I think it makes sense to stay out another week. And I've been promised by Nelda that everything will be in good shape in another week.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Tim Laurent, Parks and Recreation. I just want to remind everybody that you've got 3 more days to make it out to Tulips at Twilight, out at Ward Mead Botanical Gardens. So I don't know what the heavy rains and possible hail did to our tulips across the city, but hopefully they made it through okay. So, and definitely get out to the lake and gauge that. I thought both areas, all 3 areas, really looked really nice this year. But 3 more days. It ends on the 23rd, 7 to 10 o'clock at night. It's a $5 donation, and hope you can make it out. Also, just want to mention briefly that, as you know, our department is CAPRA accredited. We achieved that accreditation back in 2018, right before I started, actually, about a month before I came on board. And you have to go through the reaccreditation process every 5 years. So we're currently going through that process right now. We've been working with a panel made up of three people from across the country that have been reviewing all of our operating procedures, all of the standards that you have to meet to be CAPRA accredited. And yesterday was sort of the final. We won't get word on whether or not we're reaccredited until this fall at the National NRPA Conference. However, yesterday was our final meeting with the panel that we've been working with, and I'm happy to report that they are recommending us for reaccreditation. And they mentioned several times that they were just very thankful and very impressed on how well we had presented all of the standards and all the policies. So, and I will tell you, it was a relief. We had several long nights. I want to thank Jess Rakestraw and Brian Toby. Brian's not here, but they really took the lead. But it took the entire department. Josh, really, I don't want to name everybody, but everybody had a section, everybody had an area. And really, the department as a whole, I thought, stepped up really well to make sure that that we were going to get this done. So it's a relief, and I just wanted to let you know. We won't know again till the fall, but just wanted to report on our status.
Very good.
And 5 years till you have to do it again?
Have to do it every 5 years. So, and then every year they'll pick a section, and you have to prove basically that you're following those standards. So we do a little bit every year, but then on the 5th year you've got to do the whole thing. So.
Okay.
Thank you, Tim.
Great, congratulations.
All right. Yes. Thank you very much.
Anyone else? Commissioner Cook?
I don't have anything this morning. Thank you.
Mr. Mays?
Yeah, so yesterday I got to attend the ribbon cutting for Rasmussen College's new campus on 37th and Burlingame. I saw Teresa there. It's almost entirely focused on nursing, and it's a really cool place. They've got some little emergency hospital rooms set up in there, and I mean, it's a very realistic setup that they have for training nurses. So it was nice to see so many people there, a lot of folks. And then also, I just wanted to give a shout out to Nelson Castile, who was up all night last night tracking the weather. And so, you know, taking care of all of us, trying to keep us safe. So I appreciate that.
Hope Nelson's getting some sleep now.
Yeah.
Good.
I doubt it though. I bet he's watching the meeting.
He's at least listening on that.
All right. I just wanted to mention last Friday that all three of us commissioners attended Ted Inslee's celebration of life. And of course, he was a commissioner here for many years, but I wanted to just point out a few of the highlights of his life. He worked for Shawnee County Parks and Recreation from 1961 to 1995. That's 31 years. He was the first director of the Expo Center, now the Stormont Vale Event Center. He was also Secretary of Wildlife and Parks for a stint. Mr. Inslee was also a commissioner from 1998 till 2014. That's 16 years. And of course, the Botanical Garden is named after Mr. Inslee, and just wanted to recognize him and all the time and effort he put in Shawnee County. And and then last, I just wanted to mention that K-State Classy Cats were, for the second year in a row, national champs dance team. So, a national championship again. What's next?
Item 7, executive session.
We have no need for executive session, so we're adjourned.